picking up a guitar, the piano is a very good beginning instrument because it just works. And a guitar has a lot of different parts. You constantly have to tune it. You got strings, and you always want to get a good, decent, guitar that's easier for you to play at the beginning. And there's a lot of other things, but the piano is very straightforward. Particularly have an electric one. You just play the note and it works. It's in tune all the time, and you can always change the effects, keep it interesting. And I would encourage you, if you are, wanting to get into an instrument, definitely the piano is a good start. It might not be the coolest instrument, but it's a great start, and it helps a lot for developing your ear training. It's always challenging when you are blending in, essentially what is the next verse of a song into the beginning of another one. And especially when there's obviously vocals on both of them. In this case, they work well together. In some cases, it can get a bit blurry. In those cases, if you're finding that when you're doing it, it's starting to clash, then adding in a filter is really cool. Just adding a quick filter in can cut out a lot of the vocal, and it's almost a good safeguard for you, so you can focus on another one, and you can add even some reverb, some delay to mask the first vocals, so it doesn't interfere too much. In this one, it's relatively clean because I felt that we could pull it off. But sometimes that's not the case, and that's one method of allowing it to sort of blend in. One final thing, like I talked about, did I mention that? Okay, I'm not sure if I did, but when you're watching this, go back and listen for the melody. Listen for the key melody and the sounds of the melody, and then the instrumentation that's used, the claps, the keys of the song, the harmonic content around it. You'll notice that it all gels together. It feels like a continuation. This section, it feels just that it all comes together. That you play from one to another, and they glue naturally together. That just takes time. It takes time to get to that. Don't be frustrated by that. That takes just a long time. It just comes to practice, developing your ear training, and through that you're able to start picking out, definitely, obviously, because I am coming from a creation of music. I understand how the production side of things work. There definitely is obviously a big help, but whatever point you're in, it's best to just start, and the easiest way to do that is just to pick up an instrument. The creation of music, it's quite a steep learning curve, especially any of the digital softwares. Electronic production of music has quite a steep learning curve. It can feel very overwhelming, but picking up a guitar, the piano is a very good beginning instrument because it just works. And a guitar has a lot of different parts. You constantly have to tune it. You got strings, and you always want to get a good, decent, guitar that's easier for you to play at the beginning. And there's a lot of other things, but the piano is very straightforward. Particularly have an electric one. You just play the note and it works. It's in tune all the time, and you can always change the effects, keep it interesting. And I would encourage you, if you are, wanting to get into an instrument, definitely the piano is a good start. It might not be adding the coolest instrument, but it's a great start, and it helps a lot for developing your ear training. But let's quickly have a look. So very higher, it's not super high, but it's a high register melody. It's almost like a sort of piano synth. Now we're going up the octave. And when you have this sort of classic Avicii sort of synth that synth piano that he loved to use. I think it was the Nexus. He loved to use this sound. It's a classic Avicii sound. Okay, now as we go, you see how the textures, the blending together. Okay, now we have a very simple, very cadenced lead melody in a similar texture. It's almost, for the listener, it's okay. We're just, we're making the melody quicker now. And we're naturally creating a progression, and we're not having to, shorten, things from 64, 32, 16, 8, 4 bars. We can naturally progress the music through, and we can create a transition through the music. Okay, cool. So keep going. So in this, in this mashup, you have that, that cadenced, lead melody. Then you have the original melody that's coming in, and it's creating this tension. And we're going back to the original one that we had when we transitioned into the song. Now, I will mention there is a bit of the distortion and compression happening from this one. There's not much I can do from that right now because I prefer this setup. But just because it's more about mixing wise, it's okay. But pay attention to the claps, the instrumentation, not as much as the lead melody. Okay, so we have the claps, yeah, very bright, which is quite standard. And notice as now we're transitioning, the songs in a similar texture. We have very bright claps and snares, the vocals quite bright. And we have this similar melodic texture happening. And this helps with the vocal, they work harmonically well together. It's not standing out, like what's going on. That helps blend the songs together. So you can hear the guitars sort of taking over that lead melody here. We have similar, like I mentioned, drum instrumentation.